Oh, welcome. This is WrestleCram, man. I'm your boy, your host with the most, but humble, and I do mean humble. Host D Nostra Novice, aka Derek, and it is Thursday, so no reviews. We are doing a show that I enjoy called My Two Cent, and I promise you, I will tell you this. I will tell you this before I start the show. Really funny thing. Me and the wife, we went to Ollie's. We went to Ollie's, and I used to work at Ollie's a while back. And shouts out to Ollie's. And we went to the book area, right? And I didn't know this even when I worked there. I didn't know that they sold comic books and graphic novels. So I went over there. I promise you, I almost spent my entire check over there where the graphic novels are. So I looked and I saw this, and I just wanted to show y'all this before I start the show or whatnot. Just hold on. Didn't even open it yet. Didn't even open it yet. This is a 10 pack comic package. I used to buy these at Dollar General when I used to work at Dollar General. Yes, I had a lot of jobs. Don't judge me. I used to work at Dollar General, but it wasn't a 10 comic book. It was like a 5 or 4 pack. But I saw this and I saw Seth Rollins was like, oh, this is so sold. I'm gonna take it out of the package eventually, and I will wrap it again in its own personal spine and plastic. I have a gang of comic books. I will tell you this now. I have a lot of comic books. So that will be, I will read it nice and slowly, and I will package it. I thought it was pretty funny. Okay, now, on to the show. I will tell you this. I did not look at, when I'm on Mondays, I do not look at anything that consists of dirt sheets, okay? I'm going to start doing that throughout the week because the show will be the Dirt Sheet Roundup, where I talk about the dirt sheets around pretty much throughout the main the main shows or whatnot, the big shows, the shows that actually are on TV and get way more exposure. So I will be talking about that on the dirt. It's called the Dirt Sheet Roundup. I will. That's what it's gonna be called. But I did not know anything that was going on with the show. I thought that what happened was they were going to do a package because I thought that Sasha and Naomi was going to beef with Dewdrop and Nikki Cross. I thought that somebody fought and somebody was injured, kayfabe injury, and they left. I didn't know the whole backstory until a friend of mine, Nico, told me about it, and everything's just started. The shit really started hitting the fan. I really believe that. So I will talk about it Saturday. I will discuss it along with, of course, MJF with his situation with the AEW. Those are the two that I'm going to talk about. I got some more that I'm going to talk about as well, but those are going to be one of the main ones that we talk about on the show. So, the show is going to be about why I think that wrestlers shouldn't be on one station or shouldn't be on one wrestling organization. They should branch out. They should reinvent themselves because I think that reinvention is a great thing. There's nothing wrong with reinventing yourself. I did talk about Cody Rhodes, which is kind of the bigger one. But let's go down the rabbit hole a little bit. Bastard Pac. I was a huge fan of Neville in the WWE. He did a lot of great things, but we all know Vince McMahon, and Vince don't like short, like myself, and non overly buff people. He's not a fan of them putting belts on. Here comes Triple H, makes NXT, and Neville is I think he's the third or fourth NXT champion. Fast forward, he goes to the main roster, which is always kind of a bad thing when it comes to the NXT wrestlers. But he goes to the main roster, and they create in the time frame while he's on the main roster, they create the lightweight championship again, and they made it at 205 Live, and Neville actually he made the show way better. He made the show awesome when he took that belt and he went heel or whatnot. I always thought of him as a baby face. He had no hair. He was just a young looking guy. And when he went heel, it was a great show. He held that belt for a long time, and all of a sudden, the direction was they gave the belt to Enzo Amore. He dropped the belt to Enzo Amore. He was a fighting heel. He was a great heel, but he dropped it to Enzo Amore. No disrespect, no shade to Enzo. I think Enzo is a really great microphone person. So I wish him all the luck, but the story didn't make sense. So what happened was Neville said, I'm going to sit out the rest of this contract and I'm going to leave. Fast forward, I didn't know where he was. AEW started coming up, and we get the bastard Pac, which I thought was a great story. Now, here's the thing. Do I think he should ever go back to WWE? I don't think so. Do I think he should branch out to AEW? Or now, since Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor, should he be on Ring of Honor? I think so. I mean, here's the thing. Everybody that leaves WWE does not need to come back to WWE. Cody did it because Cody wanted a steady paycheck. I can't be mad at that. So, but when you have a reinvention of the person, I think that's a great thing, because it also let everybody else know up front, hey, I'm getting out of my comfort zone, and I may need to go to the independents for a little bit to make myself better. Braun Strowman is another perfect example of doing that. He went on to the independent circuit and he reinvented himself. I mean, now I think he's on Ring of Honor, so he is under the Tony Khan banner, and now he's doing great. I can give you, just this Wednesday we had Johnny Mundo, or Johnny everything else. He left. I think they released him, but what happened was he went to a lot of other independent circuits. He went to AAA. He went to Luchador Underground. He did a lot of things where he was a world champion, and all of a sudden WWE started knocking again, and they gave him another check, and I guarantee that check was way bigger than when he was ECW champion in that horrible storyline, or that horrible, when they brought it back, he was ECW champion. Now, they did release him again because they had nothing for him, but I will say that you have to respect that the reinvention did have WWE knocking at the door. Remember, WWE is the NFL, or let's say they're the NBA of everything. Tony Khan is still the D-League. They are still not even close to what WWE is. So you have to understand that if WWE is knocking, then there is nothing wrong with taking that check. I'm going to tell you that now. If I was with probably a very small independent circle and WWE did call, of course I'm going to see exactly what they're trying to do, even if it's NXT, which I don't watch. But even if NXT, if they call, I guarantee those checks do sound quite delicious. I'm not even gonna be mad at you if you took a shot at it and see what was going on. But it's a great thing to branch out and see exactly where you can go, because WWE, they only go to the European nations. They only go to Europe probably once a year. They go to Mexico probably every other year. They go to Canada probably every year. But when you're in a independent circuit scene or whatnot, you are wrestling at your own pace. You're getting a check every single time, and on top of that, you also see a lot of other areas which you don't see anymore, with especially like the WWE or whatnot. So I mean, just think about it. Just think about what I'm talking about. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I need to find myself. I need to learn more things. And then, I promise you, if you are as big as you say you are, then I promise you they're going to call you. Another person who I respect times 12, who was never released by the WWE, but he actually came, AJ Styles. AJ Styles is one of the biggest wrestlers in the history of the company, and he only been there I'm thinking 10 years now. But before he was with WWE, he was a jobber for WWE. That is true, but his name was with TNA. Think about it. TNA is still not as huge as what people think it is, but they had TNA. And after TNA, he went to Ring of Honor, and after Ring of Honor, he was collaborating with Ring of Honor and New Japan, which he was the world champion. Of course, WWE is going to knock on the door and say, hey, let's see what you can do. Never been released by the WWE. He's still relevant to this day. And you have to respect that or whatnot. It is, and all I hate that we get the releases, but the releases are there to understand that, hey, sometimes we don't need you as of right now. Show us what you can do on the outskirts. And I hope that Amber Moon, I listened to a lot of her story, and I hate that what happened to Amber Moon, but now this is an opportunity for her to reinvent herself. And then eventually, when the anger is finally gone and they get rid of the fishnet stockings that she talks about, they give her a call back and we get the world champion that we truly deserve. But if I'm wrong, let me know. I might be wrong. If you like, give me a like. If you think it's, a more above like, give me a subscribe. If you think it is awesome, upon awesome, hit that old notification bell. I do 5 shows a week now. All right. Until then, love, peace, and of course, wrestling.